Hi everyone, I'm sorry I'm starting class a few minutes late. Unfortunately, I was logged out of the IG page and finally got the new password. So thank you for joining me today. I'm at PelsBells88 on Instagram. For today's class, we are going to need our two long sticks, either the 6 foot or 7 foot. And if you need a pad for kneeling, you could have that nearby. Also access to a side wall. We're sticking with the theme of healthy hips, and next month the theme is going to change. I'm off for September and back for the month of October. So we're going to start with our warm-up first, getting into the feet and into our ankles, working our way up. I'm going to go on a diagonal here in our horse stance. So the stick mobility horse stance, you're a little wider than hip width. You're going to soften into your knees. Instead of having an anterior tilt, we're going to take that tuck under. Right hand on top, left hand on the bottom. Pack your shoulders, stand nice and tall. You're going to push down into the stick with maybe about 20% tension, 30% tension. And you're just going to elevate your outside heel up and down. So this is my left heel here. So the camera flips me, and I'm going to try to have it set up where you could mirror me and follow along, whether I'm facing forward or on a diagonal. And transition to the other side. So you should be on your right, you're working into the toes, working into the fascia in the bottom of your feet, warming up your ankles, as we are going to work in addressing our hips later. So start to circle outward with the left side, so you can feel pressure from the big toe out to the pinky toe. And you want to work from the foot and ankle rather than the knee and hip. Transition outward on the other side, focusing on your alignment and your breathing. I like to diaphragmatically breathe when I exercise, so that's when your mouth is closed, the tongue is resting on the roof of your mouth, and you're breathing into the diaphragm through your nose the entire time, inhaling and exhaling. Now, as we lift that outside left heel, we're going to go inward this time, counterclockwise. Same thing, focusing on the foot ankle rather than the knee and hip, creating the movement, and transition to the other side. So we're going to go inward this time. So you're going to feel the pressure out on that pinky toe first, and then inward towards the big toe. Let's do 2 more here. 1 more. Take a moment, come out of your horse stance, shake it out, addressing our hips, back into that horse stance. And we're simply going to go from an anterior pelvic tilt to a posterior pelvic tilt. Anterior, and then posterior. We're going to do 3 more here. 2 more. Again, you're driving down into the floor with the stick, keeping the chest upright so you're not folding forward as you transition. Good. And now create a circle. So we're going to circle to the left, to the right. So we're passing through center. 2 more, and then we're going to circle going counterclockwise. And now counterclockwise. Perfect. And again, grip the ground with your feet if you can. Try to be barefoot during class or wearing a minimalist shoe. Let's do 2 more here. 1 more. Take a moment, come center, shake it out. We're going to go into several variations of bow and arrow, working into our hip line. So right leg, if you've done yoga in the past, this is going to be similar to your warrior 3. The left leg is extended nice and straight, gripping the ground with the foot, toes facing forward, hips facing forward. That right side, knee is bent. You might need to wiggle out wider depending on your flexibility. And again, toes now on this side facing outward. Stick is going to go right in front of the second and middle toe. And what I would like you to do is just take a moment, grip the ground with your feet, pull the floor below you apart. That bottom hand is going to be right in line with the sticker. The top left hand, we're going to go into that bow position and now press out with that bottom right arm, and then leverage with that top left arm, working into that lat, taking the tailbone under. Then we're going to take a breath and lengthen. Deep inhale, exhale. Go back into that bow, hold here, and then again, we're gonna re-lengthen that right leg without hyperextending the knee. Take another breath, go deeper into your position, and one more. Working our way out of it, into that position, hold here, tailbone under, look upward towards the ceiling for a breath or two, and slowly come out of it. Now, this left leg, we're simply gonna pivot, turn in, going into a staggered stance lunge with that back leg straight. Now, the stick is gonna go around where the big toe is, and then the bottom right hand at the sticker, top left hand, and then we're gonna press forward and pull back with that top arm. That bottom shoulder, again, or top arm, excuse me, that shoulder should be down and back. Hold for a breath, work into that hip, pull back slightly without hyperextending that knee. Take a breath, inhale, exhale, go back into that bow. So that back leg, the knee is lifted. We've got energy pressing back through that heel. Excellent, come out of it, take another breath. Inhale, exhale, press forward. That inside shoulder is down away from your ear. Take a moment, start to pivot. So you're kind of returning to that warrior three. Lengthen, stick in front, heel toe in. Take a moment, shake out those hips. Shake the legs out. Okay, right leg, toes facing forward, left turned out. Take a second to find your alignment. And again, remember, we're pulling apart the mat below us with our feet. Stick to the left, right in front of the big and second toe. Bottom hand at that sticker. Top right hand, thumb faces down with the palm forward. We're gonna go into our bow. So you may feel the difference between your right and left side. And then slowly begin to lengthen, coming out of it. Inhale, exhale. Go deeper, breathe, pause here for a moment. I'm still driving down into the floor with the stick with about 30% tension. Tailbone under, look upward towards the ceiling, breathe. Take a moment, lengthen. One more here. Deep bend into that left knee, lengthening that right leg, grip the ground. Work into the interior of that right side and the interior of the left leg. Gently release. Then we're going to simply pivot. So when we pivot, now take a moment to square off. You may need to change up your stance a little bit depending on your alignment and again your flexibility. So that top arm, we're going to leverage and pull back, packing our shoulder, engaging the lat. Take a breath. We're driving forward with that bottom arm, working into the hip. Take a moment, come out of it and lengthen. Again, inhale, exhale, going into that nice deep stretch, squaring off. So oftentimes people start to open up that hip line. So again, I want you to think of your hips like headlights facing forward. Breathe. That back leg, again, is lengthened. Let's go for one more here. Draw back and hold. Let's hold 4 counts. Hold 1, 2, 3. On 4, begin to lengthen. Pivot, open, and then stick in front, heel toe in. Shake the legs out, work into your hips a little bit. Now, one more bow and arrow variation. We're going to go into a lunge, staggered position, just like we were, and now we're going to go for a lateral upper body stretch. So this is my left leg. I'm going to say it's my right. I'm going to take my right leg forward, left leg back. We're still in that nice lengthened lunge. Now, the stick is going to be a little bit further away from your hip line than our typical bow and arrow. Top left hand, bottom right hand at that hip line. And then I'm going to press out into that bow and arrow, leveraging with that top left arm, focusing on breathing, working into that lateral line. Hold 4 counts here. 1, 2, 3. On 4, take the stick in. Now it's forward inside the thigh, sorry. This stick was in my car. Note to self, don't leave your sticks in the car on a hot day. As you can see, this one is a little bent. Taking that right arm forward, driving down into the stick, eyes leading the head. I'm gonna rotate, working into that T-spine, and come back to center. Inhale, exhale, reach, rotate, take a breath, come back to center. One more on this side, reach, look behind, eyes leading the head, and then back to center. Take a moment, lower your knee to the floor. I'm just gonna go a little bit on a diagonal here. We're gonna take a moment to work into the hamstring. So I want you to fix your pelvis, fix your alignment, tuck your tailbone under. You could go anchor with the ball of your foot or top of the foot down, whatever you're comfortable with. Take the right leg forward, and now hip hinge, lengthening through the spine, focusing again on that posterior line. Then take a breath, bend into that knee. Inhale, exhale, draw back. Good, let's do this 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, draw back. And one more on this side. Perfect. And if you want, that other hand can come down to the floor. Again, we're leveraging here. So we're focusing on that hip hinge as we work into the hamstring stretch. And slowly come out of it. Slide the stick in, take your foot in, and now we're going to transition to the other side. Left leg is forward, right leg is back. We're in that lengthened lunge, squaring off the hip line. Stick, even though it's in line with your hip, is further out from the body. That top right hand, remember, palm is going to face down, or the thumb is going to face down as the palm faces forward. Now, one side typically feels different than the other. For me, this side, I'm a lot tighter on, and it could be from all the rowing I've been doing. Hold here and breathe. Inside shoulder, again, should be down away from your ear. Hold. Slowly come out of it. Let's do one more on this side. Breathe. Hold that stretch. Excellent. So again, keeping that back leg lengthened. We come out of it. Now the stick goes to the inside. My right arm lengthened. Wrist in line with the shoulder. You're going to take the left arm forward. So we're holding that lengthened lunge. Eyes leading the head. Looking back. Inhale, come through center. T-spine work here. Maintain that strong position with the legs. So this isometric hold. Reach. Come back to center. Then we're going to simply lower our knee, going into our hamstring stretch. Stick to the shoulder line. Lengthen. Watch the hips. So we don't want our hip to drop out to the side. So you could have, again, you can do this drill too with both sticks and one or single stick like we're doing today. Come out of the stretch, squeeze your back glute. Inhale, exhale, lengthen. Good. Come out of it. Draw back. Maybe you go a little deeper. One more. Then we'll do a short hold here. Stay with it. 4 counts. Hold 1, 2, 3, and on 4, slide in. Take a moment. Use a stick if needed. Come to stand and shake it out. Doing a little internal and external hip rotation before we get into a few Captain Morgans. So now we're going to be using both of our sticks. Taking the sticks to about 11 and 1 o'clock. If you can, try to keep your arms lengthened. So you're going to pack your shoulders, really use the trunk of the body, engage those lats as you press down. If you're struggling with your balance, you can bend those elbows a little bit and have the wrists more in line with the elbows at 90. Okay, so pick your position, driving down into the sticks. You're going to stand tall. We're going to go into hip flexion with the left leg first. So stabilizing on that right leg, we're going to elevate that left knee. Now, essentially, the left knee is going to stay in place, and we want to go first for external rotation. So the inside arch of the foot is gonna push into that stick on the right side. Hold, release, essentially keeping the knee still, focusing on the hip, doing the work. Now we're gonna go internal rotation. The outside arch of the foot, midline of the foot, is now pressing into the stick to your left. Hold here. And you can always raise the knee up a little bit higher depending on how you're feeling today. Release, go back over, external, push, breathe. Now when you're pushing with about 60-70% of your strength. It's quite challenging. And now go internal. So we have one more that we're going to do here, external to internal. Everything should be lighting up nicely. Push, again, about 70% of your strength. Hold, but not holding your breath. And transition, inward. Stay with it, 3 counts. Hold 1, 2, 3, and release. Everything is coming alive. Okay, going over to our other side. So we're stabilizing on that left leg. Notice if you start to sink the hip out to your side, you know, your upper body might start shaking, legs might start quivering, but we do want to kind of maintain our position throughout. So you're elevating that right knee, and then taking the midline of the foot across to the left side. Push and breathe. Simple yet effective drills that everybody can benefit from. Now we're going internal rotation, still with that pressure, 60 to 70%, and then keeping that knee still. Go over to the other side, push. Notice if you're starting to bend at your hip line, try to stay nice and tall. Transition through center, internal rotation, press out with that midline of the foot. Keep connected with the floor. And one more time, push, stay with it. Little beads of sweat starting to form. And now transition, internal. Notice your position, 3 counts, hold 1, hold 2, hold 3, gently release, come through center, and shake it out. So, grab a sip of water if you need it. Next exercise, we're going to be using our wall for leverage. We're going to go into a reverse lunge and then combining with hip flexion, drawing that knee up. So I'm taking both of my sticks against the furniture here, so whatever you have access to, and the sticks are placed about shoulder width apart. Now, I'm going to take my inside right leg back into a lunge, and as I lunge back, I'm going to extend my arms. Then inhale, exhale, come up, pull the arms into shoulder height and elevate that right knee. So we're going to do this 5 times with the right leg going back, and then 5 with the left going back. Okay, so find your position, push into the wall. As you step back, here we go, you're going to extend those arms. That back knee is going to bend, pause. Inhale, on your exhale, draw up and pull the arms back in. Step back, inhale, exhale. So we have 3 more. Lunge back, inhale, exhale, pull. Knee in, excellent. Notice your alignment. We got 2 more. Draw in your core stabilization here. Lunge, draw up, and release. Take a moment. Shake it out. Now our right leg is going to be our foreleg. The left leg is the one that's going back into our lunge. So starting tall, find your focal point, lunge back. Inhale, exhale, push into the wall, draw it up. Good. 4 more. So you may feel a difference, drive up, between the stabilization and strength on your right and left side. Inhale, exhale. Good. This side is harder for me. We got 2 more. Up. Stabilize at the top. 1 more. Lunge, inhale, exhale, draw up, and release. Great. Take a moment, shake it out. So we're going to come down to the ground for 90-90, and then we're going to come back to standing for some Captain Morgans. So using our sticks, take a moment, place them to the ground. Last week we did shin box variation. This week we're returning to 90-90. So our right leg is going to be forward. The ankle is in line with the knee and your foot is flexed. And then our back, left side, foot flexed, ankle in line with the knee. If you struggle with the 90-90, you can take that pad, a pillow, fold up towel, and then gently sit on it on that right side. That little bit of elevation can be helpful. So before we use our sticks, I want you to think of the inside, the interior of that left leg pushing down into the floor. And then the exterior, outside of the right pressing down at the same time. So we're going to take both of our sticks and our arms are going to be extended out to our side, about in line with the hip. You could angle them in. I do like using the shorter sticks for this exercise, but for today, this works. So we're going to push down with our with our right arm and elevate the left. So take a second, sit tall, start to push down with both sticks into the ground, maybe about 40-50% tension. Find a focal point, breathe. Now remember, you're pressing down into the floor with both legs. Elevate that left arm. Hold here, lift out of the hip line. 4 counts, you're still. Hold 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4, stick lowers. Now we're pressing down with that left arm and we're going to elevate the right. Elevate, hold, sitting nice and tall, breathe. Keep lifting out of that hip line. 4 counts, we're still. Hold 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4, and lower. Take a moment, sticks down, take your hands to the floor behind you, and do a little wiper here. So think of the knee going to about 12 o'clock. Just kind of windshield wiper. Perfect. Now, back into our 90-90. So if you need to sit back onto the towel or pillow, whatever you're using, the pad. Now, both sticks, we're going to angle our upper body over to our right side. So I want you to walk the sticks out to where you can maintain length through the arms and length through the back. And all we're going to do is begin to hinge over the top of that right thigh. While you're here, you're going to press down into the left arm and elevate the right. Hold here 4 counts. Hold 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4, and lower the stick. Slowly come to center. Come to center with both sticks. Pack your shoulders. Hinge forward. Breathe. Same thing. Now, if you don't want to elevate the right arm, you don't have to. So you're pressing down with that left arm. Elevate that right arm. Hold 4 counts. Hold 1. Hold 2. Hold 3. Hold 4. And we lower. Perfect. Both sticks to the ground. Hands behind. And then windshield wiper. Good. Shake it out. We're going to go to the other side. So these drills are simple, yet so impactful. They're very effective. So we have, again, foot flexed. We're in our clean line of our 90-90. You may experience a difference between your right and left side. So angle the bottom of the sticks inward. Sit up nice and tall. We're going to elevate first our right arm. So scan your body. Make sure you're in your alignment. Remember, the outside of that front left leg is pressing down. The inside of that back right leg is pressing down. So push into the ground, 40, 50, maybe 60% tension. Elevate that right arm. Sit nice and tall. Hold. Breathe. No tension in the neck. Excellent. Lower the stick. Square off. Push down into the floor. Keep that connection. Keep pressing down as you raise that left arm. Hold and breathe. Stay with it. Take a moment. Lower. Let's do this one more time. I can't remember if we did it twice on the other side. I'm sorry. So we're just going to do it twice here. Push down. Lift that arm. Hold here 4 counts. Hold 1. Hold 2. Hold 3. Hold 4. And lower. Push down into the stick. Elevate. Stay with it. Hold 1. Hold 2. Hold 3. Hold 4. And lower. Sticks to the ground. Take a moment. It's been a busy end of summer. My son started school yesterday. Wild. He's in 7th grade. Can't believe how fast time goes by. So switch. Now we're going to go back into our 90-90 if we have to. Shake those legs out. Find your position. Ankle in line with the knee in line with the hip. Then ankle, knee, hip, square off. We're going to take both of our sticks now over to our left side. So walk it over. Take your time. You should be able to hinge forward, staying connected with the lower half. Now we're going to pack that right shoulder, and then we're going to elevate the left arm, holding for 4 counts. Find your focal point, push down into the sticks, elevate, try to stay connected, hold 4 counts, hold 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4, lower the stick, upright. Come through center, square off. So for me on this side, my upper body wants to twist and rotate, so I have to remember to kind of keep squaring off. Now, hinge forward, pause here, engage, breathe, elevate, stay with it, 4 counts, hold 1, hold 2, hold 3, hold 4, and lower. Good work. Take a moment, slide that stick out, shake your legs out. We're going to do some prone wipers before we stand up for a few Captain Morgans, just to kind of loosen ourselves back up after that work we just did. So that was intense. Okay, so you're going to take yourself into the prone position. Your stick is going to be going across the chest line. And then I want you to think of pushing tension into the stick. So you're crushing the stick. You're going to take one leg, so it doesn't matter which one. The inside one is my right. I'm going to bend that knee, open the hip, and then look over to my right as my toes reach for the left, and then slowly come through center. So when you're crushing the stick, it helps to keep your upper body more connected to the floor. And then you could really work on opening your hip line and working into your lumbar spine. Breathing, inhale and exhale. Excellent. Let's do 2 more on each side, so 4 more. Crush the stick, nice and slow. Beautiful. Elevate the knee, begin to open that hip. And let's do 2 more. Again, take your time. You could always hold a little bit longer before you transition to the other side if you like. Good. Last one here. And then slowly come back through center. Wiggle the stick out of the way. And then we're going to come to stand. Great work. Okay, I need some water. I don't know if you do, but grab a sip of water if you need it. Going to do a few Captain Morgans. And then we're going to move on to our stretching segment of class. Okay. So the right arm is going to be forward, left arm out to the side. Now, the inside of your left foot is going to make contact with the bottom of the stick. So we're going to be sliding up, opening the door, opening the hip out to the side, putting pressure in the stick, lowering, and then closing the door. So these are such a fantastic drill. So inside of your left foot, right, watch for leaky hip. Try your best to stay upright with your body and stay in line with the hips. So you're going to flex that left foot, pull the knee up, open the door, push into the stick, nice and controlled, lower. That knee is pushing back as I'm staying in contact with the stick. Close the door, and then simply lower. Again, standing nice and tall. Pull up, up, up. Open. Press that knee out. Lower with control. Flex that foot. Drive up. Make sure you're breathing. Close the door. And lower. 2 more. Reconnect. Open. Lower. Keep that foot flexed. Pull up. Close. Now, 1 more. Pull up. Open. Hold here 4 counts. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4. We lower. Come up. Close the door. Hold for 4. Push into the stick. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we lower. Shake it out. Okay, transitioning to the other side. It's a hot one today in Connecticut. Okay, standing tall. If you need to, you could always bend those elbows, but try your best to maintain the length with the arms. Left arm, the stick is forward. Right arm directly out to the side. So we're just going to repeat the 4 here. Inside, right of the foot. Elevate that knee, pull. Open the door, try to keep that knee back, lower. So notice if you're starting to twist through your torso, there's all these like little nuances in this drill to pay attention to. Drive up, open the door. Again, make sure you're breathing, stay in contact with the stick, flex. Close the door. It definitely helps to be barefoot with a sock. It's a little slippery. With sneakers, it doesn't quite grip like the foot does. And lower. Good. Pull up. Close the door. Now here we're going to do our holds. First with the knee out to the side. Hold 4 counts. Hold 1. Hold 2, hold 3, hold 4, we lower, good. Pull up, close the door, work for it, push into the stick. 1, 2, 3, 4, and lower. Whew. Well done. Shake it out. Okay. We're going to use 1 stick now for our last few drills. Going into our stretching, we're going to do open books. Love this one. So we're going to work into our back a little bit here. I'm going to be on my right side here. Left leg is going to fold over. And that bottom leg, the one that's on the floor, is the one that's lengthened. Top leg, leg comes over, knees bent, and you're going to use the stick to help keep this knee connected to the ground. Other arm holding the stick. Now, if you want the pillow or pad for your head, you could use that. You're going to take your top arm and lengthen it. So head could be down. I'm going to keep mine elevated since I'm talking to the camera here. And you're simply going to use the eyes leading the head. Inhale, exhale, reach back. Inhale, exhale, reach. Nice and slow. Take your time. I'm staying connected with the stick the whole time. So I'm keeping that foot flexed and I'm pushing, driving down with that arm into the stick. Good. Let's do one more. Try again to keep that top leg here connected to the ground so you can maximize that stretch. Perfect. Hold here 4 counts. Hold 1, 2, 3. On 4, close the book. And now we're going to do a big arm sweep and reverse it. This one has got to be in my top 5 list. Good. Reach, slowly reverse it. We got one more arm sweep. Eyes leading the head. Good. Hold here 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, and then reverse, come out of it. Well done. Doesn't it feel awesome? Okay, now we're going to go to the other side. So take your time getting your setup. Remember, that top leg is going to fold over, bottom foot is flexed. You're leveraging the stick on the top of the thigh, and then find that position. Extend your top arm. Inhale, exhale, reach back. So sometimes it takes a few of these to kind of get the body to accept the stretch. Good. Stay with your breath. Take your time. Inhale and exhale. Let's do one more. Then we'll have a little hold here. Open, breathe, relax into it. We're still 4 counts. Hold 1, 2, 3. On 4, close that door. Big arm sweep. Nice. Not too fast. And again, remember the eyes are leading the head. Almost hit that kettlebell, but didn't quite. One more. Hang out here. Breathe into the stretch. Kind of let your body just kind of melt. This is the best. And then reverse. Slowly come out of it. Okay, now we're gonna go into a hamstring stretch on our back side now using our stick. So my inside right leg is gonna stay bent. You can elongate that bottom leg, but if you have any issues with your hamstrings, they feel restricted and you're always kind of hiking the opposite hip up, you could keep that foot down. If you're more flexible and mobile, you feel comfortable with that bottom leg long, you could do that too. So taking the stick behind the left thigh onto the hamstring, I think it's better to have that underhand hold. And then since you're using the longer stick, you could go out wider with your arm length and you'll be able to keep your upper back and shoulders connected to the floor. And what I want you to do is take a deep breath in through your nose, draw the stick into your thigh, back of the thigh, and then exhale, lengthen, and get that straight leg. So again, if you're able to stay connected, that bottom leg could go long, and continue to draw in, breathe, bend that knee again. I'm going to go a little bit wider out with my upper body, and I'm contracting my shoulder blades, and then lengthen. Stretch that heel upward towards the ceiling. Then, while you're here, just do a gentle zigzag. Draw a Z on the ceiling. Excellent. Rebend that knee. Take a moment. Little wiper, both sides. Now we're going to transition. I'm going to start with my left leg down on the ground first before I extend it. So because, these sticks, the bundle that I'm using is really old, and I've used it in so many workshops. You kind of have to make sure to keep twisting your stick when you're doing drills like this. Okay, so pat that shoulder, breathe, flex that foot. Your head should be down, no tension in your neck. Take a breath, bend the knee into your chest. Inhale, exhale, re-lengthen. So here I'm going to slide that leg out. The left leg is down, toes facing upward. This side is tighter than the other, or it feels more restricted, I should say. And now just draw a zigzag on that ceiling. Again, keeping the foot flexed. If you need to, that left knee could be bent with the left foot on the ground. If that's the case, try not to open that left knee out to the side. Try to stay nice and parallel. Good. And release. Take a moment, stick to the side, roll onto your side. And I had a request to do another straddle split in this class. So that's what we're going to finish with today. If you struggle with straddle, you could work in a more, a little bit more of a narrow position. You don't necessarily need to open out into this massive split. And you could also sit on the pad, pillow, towel, whatever you have access to. Adding that little bit of height, you'll be able to lift up and out of your lower back, and hopefully you can get your legs just a little bit straighter. From here, the stick, bottom of the stick's right connected in that little hollow of the arch of your foot. Now your left hand is going to come across to the right. I want you to think of relaxing that shoulder down away from your ear and rotate, look behind you. Keep, again, the feet flexed. So we're working into the hamstrings and our hips, and then switch, twist. Good. Come back through center, cross, start to leverage. So again, you wiggle out to what's comfortable for you personally. Sitting nice and tall. I'm going to soften the elbows, draw in with the stick, take a breath, inhale, exhale. You're going to point the toes, so the top of the foot is going to fold over the bottom of the stick. Let's also work into the ankle here. Glide forward with the chest, maintaining some length through the spine. Focusing again on keeping your breath nice and balanced, right? We don't want to hold our breath, and we don't want to round or tense up our shoulders. And then reflex and go deeper into the straddle. So you're sitting tall or hinging forward, and then actively pushing the heels down into the floor. Hold. Take another breath. Round. Point those toes. Hinge forward gently. So you don't have to go too far forward. You can lay flat like a pancake if you've got that ability to. Up to you. Stay with it. Focus on your breath. And release. Glide that stick forward. Hands behind the knees. Slide in. Take a moment. Go onto one side first. And then slowly come to stand. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, I'm Kelly Manzone at KelsBells88. Sorry that class started a few minutes late. This is going to be uploaded to YouTube shortly. And make sure to check out the Movement Made Better podcast. Neil and Dennis have amazing, insightful guests on all the time. I'll be logging off for September, but I'll be back in October. So I hope everybody is doing well today. And if you ever have any feedback, please feel free to reach out to me directly or to Stick Mobility. Have a great Tuesday.